Escaping Writers Genjutsu. Ready, set, right. Yoish! Welcome back to the eighth episode to my Preptober series where I prep for Nanowrimo using my writing journal. If you've watched the previous videos, you know it's a process that brings both attention to the self help journal that I created while also finding errors. I thank you for joining in. Today we'll be covering government. I've done the bare bones for my story, so this shouldn't be a long video. So sit back and relax and enjoy. Okay, we are on step 12. Government. Choose your government. I only wrote out the government for the Drinaxians, my alien race, and they are a monarchy, a government led by a monarch, such as a king or queen. And I stated that their females are in charge. So, name Beehive, which is it's a custom monarchy. So I just named it Beehive to be funny. Anywho, a monarchy system similar to a beehive solution. Women control the flow. They are the body, and the men are the weapons wielded by them. There is a single female Drinaxian that rules over all. Her ancestors led the path to abolish infighting and path collision among their race. Who does this government govern? What planet, city, kingdoms, race, or subgroups? The Drinaxian people, pretty much all of them, except for the ones who don't follow the typical path of a gnome. What are its main laws? There, I didn't write any, other than the obvious ones, Eh. How is leadership determined or passed down? The lead is due to blood. The blood relatives of the female that straightened out the Dranaxian people. Leadership structure. Who holds the position of power within the government? How are leaders chosen, elected, or appointed? Queen, female general, male soldiers, female population, male population. Legislative laws. How are laws created and enforced within the government? I haven't wrote any laws yet, but I'll write them as soon as I start writing because it's more like you really don't know a law until your characters do something or a character of the past did something that warrants that law. Like, there's no law about touching turtles unless there's some weirdo out there touching turtles that ends up causing there to be a law. So I won't know the laws until I actually start writing. How are laws created? Okay, a group of seven males that are unable to ask for more power, but are able to make things comfortable for their fellow males. So there's a group of males, and then there's a group of queens, but there's one big queen overall. Okay, check and balances. Are there mechanisms in place to prevent any one branch of government from becoming too powerful? How are conflicts between different branches resolved? Nope, most are on the same page with the path of an M, and most have their people's safety and best interests in mind. Most. I haven't really deeped into that, but I don't think it pertains to the story because they're like they're in the middle of a war. So like we're not going to be talking about government. We're going to be talking about what government was, but it's not going to be the same. It's just I'm fleshing this out as a way to show how the Dranexian people have evolved based on what their government used to be. So representation and participation. How are citizens represented in the government? Is there a voting system and who is eligible to participate? No. The queen speaks for the women, and the group of seven subservient men speak for the males in their controlled area. Role of bureaucracy. I don't have that. Economic policies. How does the government manage economic matters such as taxation, trade, and resources? Are there economic ideologies guiding these policies? There is no tax or trade, only order amongst them. They are mainly communists, but they are responsible for their own survival. They only have rules to prevent infighting and path collision. For foreign relationship, how does the government engage with other nations and handle diplomacy? Are there treaties, alliances, or conflicts that impact this foreign policy? There are other queens, and all are related to one another in the same bloodline. Each has a controlled area, and each deals with them the same. If war breaks out amongst one area, the other queens clean it up. Cultural and social impact. How does the government influence cultural norms, social classes, and societal values? Does it uphold or challenge existing traditions? It encourages all types of paths aside from the removal of path. Reactions to dissent. How does the government handle dissent, protest, and opposition? Are there legal and peaceful means for citizens to voice their concerns? The government removes them from their group, else they kill them. One can voice their concern by speaking directly with the Queen's female generals. Media and information. Media and information control. How does the government control or regulate? There's no media in this. No. The government services. What services does the government provide to its citizen? Education, healthcare, infrastructure. Do they force services on people? How are these services funded and managed? These people are self sufficient. So they're self sufficient, but they are governed to prevent chaos. Relationships with religion. How does the government interact with religion in your world? Does it endorse or restrict religious practices? And how does this impact governance? Is there a religion specifically connected to this government? If so, which? How do religions and gods influence the government decision and policy? Are religious leaders directly involved in governance? It is based on the religion of Anim. No other religion exists overall, aside from lack of slash rejection of Anim. Historical development. What historical events led to the formation of the current government? How has the past leaders and decisions shaped the present political landscape? Aggression and infighting amongst the people, consistent path collision, and unnecessary death led a female to rise up and gather the people and base the ruling system on the way her parents ruled their relationship. Despite resistance, people came around and it became a well liked solution to the unchecked aggression among males and the lack of direction in females. So basically, males needed to point their aggression somewhere and females needed something to do. So, like, it ended up being a win-win situation. And that is it for government. That's all I wrote. Um, Again, government has been demolished for the humans, so I didn't even write that down. Right now, they're ruled by, they're like ghostly ruled by Hades Corpse. Hades Corp, and I wouldn't even call them a government. They're just like a presence in the background that is sort of taking over and taking advantage of the fact that the government is completely broken down and non-existent in the world. But there really is no need for government for the human race in this story because they're at a point where they're just losing people by the day. Like they're just hemorrhaging numbers and yeah, and they're just trying to control it basically. Well, that's it. That is the eighth episode of my Preptober series. Next section in this journal is location, which I've pre-prepared. I appreciate those watching. Please like and subscribe and press the notification button to be notified when the next video comes out. For those interested, I also have a Discord server. The Writers Genjutsu Escape is what it's called, and all writers are welcome to join. Stop by and say hi. The link is in the description. Thanks again for watching and listening to me ramble. I will be posting my process prepping for Nanowrimo to the end of October. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Yoish!